Hi, I'm Ben, and Justin and I did our presentation on successful intelligence in the classroom. So we're going to start off with a little bit of background information on some people you might be familiar with. The first is Albert Einstein, who had early difficulty with his verbal development and was actually expelled by one school headmaster and told by another that he would never amount to anything. There's a common rumor out there that he failed math, which isn't actually true, but he did have difficulty in school, and went on to become one of the most famous and influential scientific minds of all time. The second person is William Henry Gates, better known as Bill Gates, who dropped out of Harvard. He didn't bother attending classes by his own admission. It wasn't something he was interested in. He dropped out of school and went on to found Microsoft and is now the richest man in the world. And with his wife Melinda, they founded the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which is now the largest transparently operated charitable foundation in the world. So what do these two men have in common? Well, neither one necessarily excelled within the traditional school environment, but both managed to reach unparalleled levels of success. Gates, for example, scored at 1590 out of 1600 on the SAT, which is quite impressive. So his school difficulties weren't because of a lack of intelligence, it was just the traditional environment wasn't a motivator for him. And Einstein is one of the greatest and most influential geniuses of all time. Both of these men possess successful intelligence. You may be asking, what is successful intelligence? Well, Sternberg and Grigorenko define successful intelligence as the use of an integrated set of abilities needed to attain success in life, however an individual defines it within his or her socio-cultural context. People are successfully intelligent by virtue of recognizing their strengths and making the most of them. At the same time, they recognize their weaknesses and find ways to correct or compensate for them. Successfully intelligent people find ways to succeed in spite of their difficulties or handicaps. They do this in three different ways: adaptation, shaping, and selection. Successfully intelligent people find their own unique path to becoming intelligent or becoming successful. They find ways to adapt to, shape, and select their environments to ensure success. In adaptation, successfully intelligent people change themselves to fit the environment. So a teacher, for example, may adapt his or her teaching methods to incorporate those that a principal is known to approve of in order to achieve more success in school. In shaping, successfully intelligent people change their environment to fit them. So a successfully intelligent teacher may persuade a teacher to accept a new method of teaching that they personally excel at, creating an optimal environment for success. In selection, if an environment is not providing optimal chances for a successfully intelligent person to be successful, then they will simply find a more favorable location. So a teacher may seek out a school where his or her personal learning style will be better accepted, rather than remaining in one where they clearly have no chance of achieving the success they're looking for. Now, the father of the theory of successful intelligence is a man named Robert Sternberg, and he argues that we can cater to successful intelligence by using triarchic teaching. So there's three aspects of successful intelligence: the analytical aspect, the creative aspect, and the practical aspect. And teaching in a problem-solving cycle will help form this successful intelligence in students. So the first aspect is analytical intelligence. And we use analytical intelligence when we analyze a story problem, a system of government, a scientific theory, so what have you. When we compare and contrast two countries, two artists, two poets, for example. When we explain a scientific experiment, a math equation, or how the voting process works. Or we critique the results of a scientific experiment. So why do we want to teach analytical intelligence? Well, it teaches students to identify and define problems and helps them to become great problem solvers. Creative intelligence encourages students to create things, discover things, imagine things, and design things on their own, and reinforces their ability to do so. So why do we teach creative intelligence? Well, it enables students to continue to grow after school and beyond what we've taught them, allows them to redefine problems on their own, gives them a chance to develop some personal perspective, and helps them come up with unique and novel solutions to problems. The third aspect, practical intelligence, occurs when students have a chance to implement and apply what they have learned. So instead of speaking Spanish in a classroom, practical intelligence comes into play when you actually go to the country and find out how much Spanish you actually know. Or if you're trying to use it to, for example, figure out how much gas you'll need to go on a road trip. So you figure out your gas mileage and use a simple equation to see how much money it's going to cost you. Or even something as profound as constructing a future business plan. So Why do teachers need to know about successful intelligence? Well, there's a few things to remember. Just because a student doesn't excel by traditional educational standards doesn't mean they won't be successful in other endeavors. And it's important to determine and accommodate students' strengths and weaknesses. It's also a good idea to recognize that student disagreement may simply be an attempt to create a more optimal situation for their personal success. And teachers should remember that alternating between methods that target creative, practical, and analytical processes can help to create a well-rounded student. Thank you for watching.